BSnBEER Media, in association with STWF TV, the podcasting network.
Introducing the best in the world! Yeah!
Welcome in the best in the world, hashtag BITW. I'm your host, Dale. Today we are doing something just a little bit different. I've got a few different guests to give their opinions on 3 topics in the world of professional wrestling. So a big thanks to STWF TV for their help with this show. Be sure you're watching on YouTube, like the video, share it. So without any further ado, let's get started with the show. Kevin Nash commenting on LA Knight. He basically called him a ripoff of The Rock. I want to know what your opinions are.
LA Knight is a ripoff of The Rock, but I also see him being a ripoff of Stone Cold. And personally, I don't like LA Knight. He's one of those indie freaks, and I like mainstream, so LA Knight is a ripoff. He's not right for the product. He's bad.
Absolutely not. It's a nostalgia act, kind of, depending on how you're looking at it. Me personally, I'm a huge LA Knight fan. I've loved LA Knight since he was Eli Drake in TNA. Huge TNA mark as well. But the thing is, there's a difference between carbon copying and then making it your own. He said some of his biggest influences when he was a teenager, getting into the business and doing what he was, wanting to do, were The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, he can't help that he has the same voice as The Rock because they've talked about that in the past. But, no, absolutely not. I don't see a ripoff. He made it his own. They had catchphrases, the what, because Stone Cold said so. LA Knight has let me talk to you. In TNA, he had dummy, and now he has, and always has had, yeah. It's just a catchphrase. It's not a carbon copy. It's also nostalgia for the old fans. Old fans didn't have stuff like that to pop for since, I don't even know. A one-off appearance from Stone Cold. So no, it's what professional wrestling was originally of. Catchphrases, bad promos, 3 moves of doom. Now, wrestlers can actually wrestle, put on great shows, cut good promos like LA Knight's doing, and he has catchphrases. He's got like the highest selling t-shirt right now. He's doing exactly what those guys did without mimicking what they're doing. He's doing what professional wrestling fans absolutely love. The extravagant, over-the-top things that make people pop. That's all we want. We want to pop. We want to have a reason to cheer. And who makes us cheer? L.A. Knight. Yeah.
We shouldn't even be discussing this. This is an obvious case of hating. Like Kevin Nash, why are you hating on this man? You paid your dues. You're a legend in the game. You have broke down walls for so many other professional wrestlers in the game. It's crazy. I respect the hell out of you. But you out of line. This business is made from gimmicks. This business is made from the elders. This business is made from finding somebody that got the blueprint and making it their own. Copying it and making it their own. That's just how the game goes. That's how the wrestling world goes around. If you don't believe me, I'll give you a couple examples. From the Golden Age era, you got Hulk Hogan, Superstar Billy Graham. When I was younger, I almost thought they was the same person. Because this right here, that was bleached. their hair was bleached. You know, they, you know, let me hear you. They both were bodybuilders. You know what I'm saying? Had biceps out this world. You know, I mean, they were practically the same person. Same catchphrases. Eat your vitamins. Say your prayers. Hell, I know a couple other wrestlers that said the same thing and used that. You know, they might not use it as frequently as Hulk Hogan did, but they did it. You know, Kevin Nash, you were a giant. Correct me if I'm wrong. You played the bodyguard. Big Show did the same thing. The only thing, he was bigger than you. You know, you have Dominique Mysterio, who is basically Eddie Guerrero. You know, back when Eddie Guerrero, you know, he always had a mullet, but Mullet Guerrero, Latino Heat, you know what I'm saying? China, the bodyguard. You got Rhea Ripley there for Dominique Mysterio. Are you shooting on this? Are you talking about this? Why do you have to get on LA Knight? I personally like LA Knight. And it's not like LA Knight didn't have a pedigree before he came to the WWE. My man was in TNA. Had a name for himself. You know, he won a couple titles over there. If I'm not mistaken, he won a couple titles over there. Dude, Kevin Nash, stop hating. You know, this is bought up off of gimmicks. The Rock, he tried a different gimmick before he was called D-Rock. It was Rocky Maivia. A combination of Peter Maivia, his grandfather, a combination of his father, Rocky Johnson. I mean, you got Solo Sikoa, who's basically copying his uncle Umaga. You know what I'm saying? God bless his soul. You also got Zilla, Umaga's son, down in ring, what is it called? Raw, Reality of Wrestling, with Booker T, who's doing the same thing. Then don't get me started on the kings and queens gimmicks. It's all the same thing. It's just who can take it and make it their own and make it better. A different variation. You know, your best friend, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H. He studied Ric Flair. A lot of stuff he said, a lot of stuff he did was Ric Flair-esque. Because, you know, back when he was, you know, wearing the cape, coming to the ring, acting like a prince, what's that called? Bow, a curtsy. That's what it was called. He was doing a curtsy. It wasn't even a bow. You know, you could say he got the robe thing, the cape thing from Ric Flair. You know, so you can't just pick and choose who you want to shoot on. Like, that is ridiculous. Kevin Nash, I got one better for you. The Club. You know this? Too Sweet. The Club did it, right? You know, y'all in NWO did it. You have Finn Balor started doing it when he came and did his variation of a club. You have AJ Styles doing it right now with the only club that matters. You know? So, come on, man. Like, gimmicks are gimmicks. You got to do me one better. You sound like an angry old man who just tired of the younger generation, who wish he could get in there one more time and just do it and have the biggest pop of his life. Man, leave LA Knight alone.
The Bloodline. Online, there are a variety of opinions about this story. People are tired of it, and some people love it.
As far as the Bloodline goes, it's time to stop it, but I do like the fact that they have them feuding each other. Hopefully it is one of the Usos that bring him down. Just see it being that way. I hope so. So, I don't know.
You know, as aggravating as that Bloodline storyline is, and not so much the Bloodline itself, just Roman Reigns. And it seems like he has to have so much help to win his matches, keep that title, that the length of that title streak has been made such a big deal of, uh, with so much help. And only defending the title a half dozen times a year, maybe, at this point. But that's great storytelling. It's a great build of a heel character. Gets a lot of heat from it. And everybody wants to see him lose that title. Should the Bloodline storyline end? And it kind of ties into, should Roman Reigns lose his championship? As much as I love to see it, and it's a great payoff, where do they go from there?
Nah. WWE, you have robbed us of so many things throughout the many years you have been in business. So many things. Do not rob us of an Anoa'i family civil war. Because, come on now. Think about it. Yes, Roman asked for some time off. Yes, Roman should lose the title. Yes, he should lose it to Jimmy Uso. You know what I'm saying? He should lose it to him. And even I feel like Solo Sikoa should betray Roman Reigns. But you know what you do? Let Roman Reigns take his 2 months off, 3 months off, make people think they forgot about it. Then boom, soon as they forgot about it, have Roman Reigns come back. I don't care if you got to go over there to New Japan Wrestling and get Taka and his brother. You know what I'm saying? That's an Anoa'i Fantu family. There's other Fantus out there. You got Zilla down in Reality of Wrestling with Booker T, learning from one of the best. Honestly, I don't want to be robbed of that. Hell, make it an opportunity to bring the women in. You have so many powerful women. Ooh, this got me sweating because it's just, I love it. I love the art of storytelling. Bring the women in. Bring Nia Jax back. You got Tamina there. Nobody meaner than Tamina. Hell, do what you got to do to bring Trinity back. Because she's married into the family. Bring Rock Daughter up from NXT. You can do it that way. But back to what I was saying for a storyline goes. Have Roman Reigns come back with some other family members. And you could do the real Civil War right. And they come back as the Bloodline. Because the Usos and Carlos Sokoa, they're not going to be using that Bloodline thing. They shouldn't. I don't think they should. That's Roman Reigns' thing. So, give that to Roman Reigns. Have Roman Reigns group attack the Usos, because I'm calling Solo a Uso, and have The Rock come back for a premium event. And you bring the Bloodline Nation of domination. You have The Rock come to Jimmy Uso, talk to Jimmy Uso. Be like, you took Roman Reigns down. Yeah, he took your title. Yeah, he beat you and your brothers down. But introduce a new family member. So it can be 4-on-4, 3-on-3, whatever it is. Even the odds out. The Rock endorsed that. Hell, if you got to bring Sika and Alpha back in it, bring them back in it, man. Because it's a hell of a storyline. It's so many of them. Their dad, Rikishi, you're missing the opportunity to bring Rikishi in. His sons are beefing. Like, his sons are really beefing. Do something about it, man. WWE, please don't end this storyline, man.
Sami Zayn elevated that storyline incredibly. have an outsider come in and finally largely be accepted as one of their own, but never really was so much backing of the fans behind him. The term Usi enabled him to make some of the Bloodline break. Was just hilarious. But just to see that discontent build within the group, that distrust of Sammy by the Usos, either one or the other, and then trust building back up with one or the other. And Jimmy and Jay being at odds with each other because of those different perceptions of Sammy, because of that often distrust of Sammy. Just to have Sammy and ultimately Kevin Owens come in and take those tag titles was a big piece of the Bloodline eventually fracturing and the Uso twins breaking off from Roman and Solo.
Will, before you go up, I do want to ask you a question because I feel like you have not seen it. How much do you think Bo Nickel is favored by?
I feel like it's, well, now that he's not facing the guy that he was already, that's got to be a lot, right? It's got to be.
Go ahead, give me your best guess. It's a minus what?
Minus 850.
All right, go check it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy hell.
Now,
that is
for anyone willing to do this,
oh my God,
that would be an insane payout. Just that fight alone to put $10 down on it. You felt like it to go with Val Yard or Val Woodburn.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is rough.
I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that this is the biggest differential in over-unders in UFC history.
Like, this is not even, like, worth putting on at this point. Like, this is borderline illegal, man.
The guy that he was going against, Trayshawn Gordon, was a stand-up guy. He had no wrestling, so Bo Nickel's going to dominate him too. This guy is undefeated. He has, he's 9-0. He has He's 7-0. He's got 5 knockouts, 2 by decision. He was a champion in whatever place he came from. But
Yo, this is the first fight in the UFC.
First UFC fight. He could be good, but we don't know nothing about the guy besides he's won 5 by knockout and 2 by decision and has no losses.
Find this podcast and others on STWFTV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.
What's the hottest thing going in AEW right now?
Biggest star team in AEW? I don't know. Jack Perry turning him heel could be something of a good thing. Being against Hook, though, yeah, that's a good rivalry. I think Jack's ceiling is pretty damn good.
MJF is always the best thing going in AEW. This guy has gone from being a heel to a face. It is hilarious. He's making Adam Cole interesting again. And yeah, I said making Adam Cole interesting again because before that injury, he was not very entertaining in AEW. I was wishing for him to go back to NXT and take the Undisputed Era back with you as well, because what they were doing before was not working, and what they did in NXT definitely worked. We all know how this ends between Adam Cole and MJF. It's going to be a match for the world title, but this whole ride between them two, very, very interesting. Big ups to MJF. Thanks again to the team over at STWF TV. Check out Jake on the Tap Out. You can check him out over there on the Podcasting Network. And look, check us out online. Chat us up. Let us know what you're thinking. Use the hashtag BITW on social media, and let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion with you, the fan. So until next time, Kenny, take us home.
Must be you too. Goodbye. Mwah. Good night. Bang! Yes!
Remember to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at BSnBEER Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.